sirens, citations, and Learjets. Oh my! We're talking with Baron Pilot and Flying SIC in the hangar. Welcome to In the Hangar. I'm Christy Wong.
And I'm Dan Milliken. And this episode of In the Hangar is brought to you by Colton Mortgage. They actually answer the phone and they answer your questions. And by Flying Eyes, and they've got the new ophthalmics, that's regular glasses, and with the really cool clip-ons too. But more about that in a minute. So we have some special guests today.
We do, actually. We've got
Flying Eyes.
Flying Eyes. We've got Baron Pilot and Kim.
Flying SIC.
Flying SIC. So it's Baron Pilot and Flying SIC?
Yeah.
Okay. So you're wearing Flying Eyes. Apparently you rep them on.
So was I
your-
not supposed to pick these up? I thought these were, you supplied them for everybody. Are these not mine? Or am I supposed
I
to
don't
give
know.
them? Do
Are
I
they
give them back?
prescription?
Oh yeah, I was gonna say. I was
Well,
looking
they
for
were
my
laying in the green
sunglasses.
room. I just thought they might have been
We have
for
a
us.
lot of Flying Eyes laying around.
We do actually.
But do you have the new magnetic
I do
clip-ons?
not. I do not. I'm not part of the cool
You
club
are
yet.
50% less cool now
Clearly.
without the.
Clearly. Well, guys, thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you for having us. By the way, I don't mean to interrupt your introduction here, but I'm honored to be on your inaugural season of In the Hangar. I mean, it's unbelievable
episode 101.
that I'm on that level that you invited me on your very first year here. So thank you for making me part of your first year.
Nobody told him.
No, it's okay.
Okay.
This is not your first year?
You know what?
Second
No,
year?
we reached out our first year, and you wouldn't have anything to do with this because we were
Lies.
600 subscribers. And no, I'm kidding. That didn't happen.
Well, I've actually got a really interesting story about how I met them. They accidentally crashed my flying club's holiday party a couple years ago.
Don't use the term crash in aviation.
Yeah. This
that
is
might
true.
be a bit of a misnomer.
This is true. But yeah, that's how we
did.
initially met.
How did you crash an aviation party?
There was drinks.
There was
We're
booze.
pilots.
Yes.
Drinks and pilots and airplanes. What better combination
They happened.
Crash.
to crash?
Oh my goodness. We don't say crash in aviation.
You just
Well,
said
apparently
crash.
we do a lot.
Yeah.
You don't say bomb in aviation.
No. Ooh.
You can't say bomb.
Yeah, so many people know that I and my flying club, Air Valley Flying Club, is based at the Denton Enterprise Airport, and that just happened to be where you guys stopped in.
We did, yeah. Unbeknownst to us, we came in, landed in the dark night airport.
28 knot crosswind.
whipping.
Oh my goodness.
It was
It
a
was the
horrible night,
brutal
and it was
first
brutally
months.
cold. Of course, brutal's a relative term, but being
No,
Floridians,
it was
brutal.
cold. We had closed the hangar doors in the big hangar because we were having our like membership appreciation party / holiday party. And
And I appreciated all the members for letting me in.
yeah.
It was fantastic.
Yeah. So, and then it was like, oh my gosh, I know who you are. I know who you are. Yeah. And then it was just recognition all
You're
around.
like, where are the free drinks?
No. And so I invited them back. You know, they were trying to wait out some of the winds and whatnot. So I wasn't going to let them sit there and starve. So I invited them back, and they were greeted very warmly by our membership.
No one knew who I was. They all just
a lot of
recognized
people- you don't
Kim
hear-
flying SIC.
I was going to say, honestly, I think half our members probably didn't know, but that just speaks to the aviation community is that everybody kind of welcomed you guys in.
100%. That's the best part of aviation is that
You like
anywhere
airplanes, I
you
like
go,
airplanes.
yeah, exactly. Anywhere you go, you instantly have a friend, whether it be just the mere fact that you've got aviation in common. It's kind of
Yeah.
like police officers or firemen or guys in the military.
Motorcyclists, yeah.
Motorcyclists. So, another example. I mean, anywhere you go, you're instantly family. So.
Yeah, well, let's talk about who Baron Pilot and Flying SIC. Who are you guys?
Who are you?
Who am I? I'm Christy Wong. Yeah.
Heard that somewhere. What do you want to know?
Where, apparently I've been told you're not from these parts.
Isn't everyone from Texas?
I thought they were, but I guess
Am I
not.
lost?
This is a local show. It's public access.
That's why I didn't make the first season?
No, that's why you didn't make
I
it.
knew it. No,
Shows that you're growing. Yeah. In Florida.
Yeah, we're reaching. We're now the best show in the South.
there you go. Anyhow, I'm sorry, the question was again?
Tell us about yourself, where you grew up.
Sure. I grew up in Florida. I was born and raised in Miami, Florida. First generation Floridian. My family were all from New York. My background and heritage, I'm what I call a true American. I've got Italian, Spanish, and Czechoslovakian in my blood. So
That's the most American thing I've heard all day.
yeah, I was born and raised, and flying was in my veins since I was in elementary school, a little boy. All I ever wanted to do was learn to fly and be a pilot. And so now every once in a while I'm sitting there looking out the window, and sometimes I gotta pinch myself, and I'm like, wow,
I get to do
this is
this.
awesome.
So when did you actually take that leap and become a pilot?
When right out of high school, I basically went and took my first flying lesson. 5356 Bravo was a Cessna 152 out of Tamiami Airport.
Ugh, you never forget your first tail number.
So I hear. So, so I had my flight instructor, a female flight instructor, and she let me, do the first taxi and the first takeoff. And the minute we rotated, it's as if I wasn't already hooked. I was hooked even more. And that was just the beginning of a long road of aviation addiction.
Okay. Kim, tell us a little bit about yourself.
So born and raised in Florida, also actually in Jacksonville. So I'm North Florida.
Okay.
Is that a
I'm in the
different
bitter
country from-
cold
Okay, the
area
bitter cold.
of
Gotcha.
Florida where it snowed last time in '89.
Well, apparently iguanas are falling or something.
They are right
down
now.
by me, yes.
Yes.
It's out in Fort Lauderdale.
Yeah.
Have you heard about this?
I have not. I am actually.
There's an iguana warning in southern Florida right now.
There it is.
Oh my
That's-
goodness.
Yes, this is a fact.
Now, we're filming this in the cold of winter. I'm not sure when we'll release it, but there is a cold snap.
They are cold-blooded animals, and so when it gets really cold, they go straight into hibernation. I guess to
They
keep from
instantly.
dying, and so they literally
They
will
just-
fall out of trees onto the ground. And so you're told, please leave them alone. They're not dead. Don't do
Move them
something
off
with
of
them.
a road if they are on the road.
And then when it warms up, they'll.
Are
go
there
back to-
actual like falling iguana signs, like warning signs around?
What is a falling
Maybe in
iguana sign?
parks.
Okay, we're gonna have to Google that later.
Yeah.
It's an interesting world.
Okay, so
But
you're from.
you're in the northern part that's not in the falling iguana zone.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct.
I'm gonna need a map of this later.
Yeah.
Yes.
Iguanas
Where the
here.
animals live.
Got
yes.
it.
There's
Okay.
a little dash in the middle of the state if you look on like an aviation map, and
It's like
just
North and South Korea.
You're right, exactly.
Okay.
It's iguana, no iguana.
So military kid, but grew up all in Jacksonville my whole life. Dad was Navy, so I was always around aviation. Then I married my now ex-husband, and he was in the Navy, and he actually worked on C-130s, so I got a little bit more closer, got more into air shows, just never thought that I wanted to be a pilot. Like, it wasn't a realistic thing. It's not something that somebody brought up to us. And then a few years later, met him and actually knew him for a couple months. And then all of a sudden one day he was like, oh, I got to fly my plane somewhere. And I'm said, what?
And you're like, what? I want to
Say
marry
that
you.
again. Well, so the story goes.
That's how the rumor happened.
But I was just like, you own a plane. What is that? What does that mean? Like, I'm so intrigued. And then the first time he took me flying, he's like, oh, but I video these. And I'm like, no, you're not. No, we're not doing that. And
So you did not video the first flight with her.
Correct.
Okay, good to know.
Okay, well
you did video it. That was the
Surreptitiously.
Osh. But we did not post it. We never did anything with that footage.
Oh, coming soon to the Baron
The official.
310 channel, a unseen video now released from the archives.
Can I just point out what you just said?
What?
I caught that too.
Anyone else catch that?
Oh, I said 310.
There's 310.
Oh
He
gosh,
said-
I did.
Yeah. Yeah.
We will edit that out.
No, we won't.
Bloopers.
Yeah. And that's why I wasn't on the first season. If I threw a three,
Let's see,
if I,
I said
if I
Baron,
flew
310.
a 310, I bet I would have.
Did. I wasn't gonna say anything.
We've had Kevin on the show. So,
Yeah. Oh, yeah. First season?
yeah. Well, he said yes.
We're smoking
Okay.
now.
So, okay.
Where were we?
So, okay, so
We're
you.
talking
This is my
to
life.
Kim.
This is literally my life.
Oh, well, we were talking about the secret video file that hasn't been their first flight.
Secret
Yeah,
flying video.
so my first flight was to Osh, and I was just like, I don't. Let me get into flying first. Like, let me just feel the plane out, and then.
Were you afraid you're gonna like throw up on camera?
I don't know what.
Not from
I
the
didn't know
flying,
what
but
to
because of- no, I'm sorry.
expect. Yeah, exactly.
I would have done it.
I didn't know what to expect. I just didn't know. I'm like, so we videoed the flight to Miami for
cruise.
the cruise, and that was
The first.
that was it. And I was so into asking every single question that I could that I was like, all right, this is just obviously what the next step is to become a pilot, because why not?
So,
Well, and that was also, you know, when we filmed that and she started asking all these questions, you know, as pilots, we take a lot of things for granted.
Right.
Right. We assume everyone just knows what we're talking about when we start using aviation lingo. And so when she started asking all these questions, it really opened my mind up a little bit to what I haven't been doing in the videos, which is explaining things to people
Breaking it down.
that aren't in aviation. Maybe you're just an aviation enthusiast. Maybe you don't know if you just have interest in aviation. You don't know maybe if you want to become an enthusiast. You don't know where you are. And so that kind of opened my mind to it. And so that's why I was most excited about her becoming an addition to the channel, because she would pull out of me the questions and the answers that I would take for granted. And so now all of a sudden, if you're watching the channel, you know, you see me answering her questions or, you know, or explaining things in more detail that I wouldn't have ever done prior to her, because it was just an assumption. And so now she provided two aspects to the channel. She provided, you know, whatever you wanted out of the videos, you could see. If you wanted to see someone who knows what they're doing and doesn't need the answers to the questions, they can get, you know, the flying aspect out of it. Someone who's new to aviation, they hear her questions and they're like, yes, I have that question, and she can provide that. And if you just wanted to see just a flying video, just someone going somewhere, well, then video can be as simple as that. So it kind of, in my mind, was filling three voids all in one, just from her addition.
okay. Did you take the leap and get your pilot certificate?
So I am officially a student pilot.
Okay.
Okay.
I am rocking my ground school with Sporties.
Awesome.
And I will actually be doing my flight training with them also.
Okay.
Last year was an eventful year, to say the least. We, last minute, I had about 4 weeks to move us from the west coast of Florida to the east coast of Florida, basically by myself, because he was busy working his 12 jobs.
Could you not?
I'd rather work.
Yeah. Literally 5 days before we had to move, I broke my wrist.
Oh.
Thanks, One Wheel.
You and Mark Patey.
Oh gosh.
So that
You're
put me
getting
down.
a bad rap, by the way,
One Wheel?
between Mark and you, and yeah.
There's
It
a
was-
video on it. We showed it.
Yeah.
I was going to get one, but now I'm not. Go ahead,
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
I wouldn't. I was on it for a half an hour and I was doing it, and
that your
I was
first
actually
one?
putting it up. Yes.
Oh.
I was putting it up, and
That's when it gets you.
Now we know.
I thought I was done.
Sorry, continue.
So broke my wrist. The doctor immediately said, after we take this cast off, you've got a good 6 months. So that happened. That delayed it towards the late summer, and then we had something else happen. And at that point, when you're up in Ohio, and the fact that I'm a Floridian and I don't know anything that's colder than 70, the weather just turned. So that is the plan this year. It's happening.
Awesome.
It is happening.
Well, I can't wait to like follow your journey, because I'm sure there's going to be some.
There's going to be some footage,
Yeah.
just a little
Look,
bit.
he's already planning.
You're not a CFI?
I am not a CFI.
Okay.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Brian Turner can help
Thankfully.
you out with that.
No.
Stop.
No.
Please don't give Brian any more ideas.
I do not want to be a CFI.
You could.
I've
You could instruct-
requested multiple
No,
times.
she has. And I'm like, why would
I would have over 100,
If someone's
150
going to go
hours.
and get training, then why not it just be her? Instead of all that time that I'm dedicating to it, she could just, I could
That's a
be
good
applied to
point.
her.
And you could be at work.
And I could be at work, exactly. So
Where he'd rather be,
we're
apparently.
well, then moving, yes.
Let's get that straight.
Yeah, just clarify where I'd rather be.
Awesome. Okay, so what do you do as your day job? Because you don't fly for a living, correct? Or do you? It's one of his 12
He's
jobs.
got 3.
It is.
Yeah.
I mean, or so he tells me.
The answer, I just gotta get out of the house, settle down, you're throwing
There's
me
that
under
other
the
family
bus.
and the other YouTube channel.
Yeah.
I live 2 lives. No, so I have 3 jobs. This is the way I refer to it. 3 full-time jobs. One everyone knows, which is the Bear and Pilot channel. As you've discovered, being a YouTuber, the glamorous life it is a full-time job in and of itself.
Right.
In fact, on the flight here, I finally had 3 hours to relax, flying from Fort Lauderdale to Dallas, Fort Worth. And 2.5 of those hours, I sat on my laptop and was trying to edit a video, because that's the only thing I can do when I have my downtime is not have downtime. The other thing I do is I work in TV production. So I'm in good company. And predominantly live sports, predominantly golf. But I've done it all through the gamut, but live TV production. And I am part of the cool club, so we can rub elbows.
Woohoo.
I do fly jets for a living as well. That's my 3rd job, so I fly Lear 60s. And in fact, I have recently started posting videos showing the Lear 60s on the Bear and Pilot channel. So some people, I think,
rename the channel.
I've
Yeah,
heard I
Lear
got to
jet.
call a Baron Learjet pilot, I think
But
was
you also
somebody
flew
said.
Citations as well.
I did. I used to fly Citation 1s, 2s, 3s, and 7s.
Okay.
I do
And
miss them a
Mustang?
little bit. Oh, and a Citation Mustang, yeah. A single pilot typed in a Citation Mustang as well.
So it should be the Lear Citation Baron,
Mustang
It's
pilot.
the pilot.
just the
We're
pilot.
just going to
yeah.
take Baron out, and we're just going to
Yeah.
the pilot.
Okay, so 3 jobs. I get the YouTube being a full-time job. I certainly understand that. The other 2, so you're doing live sports and golf. Did the jet flying, was that just because you wanted to do flying? I mean, it's not.
So when I first got into flying Citations, it wasn't about
The
work. It was not about money. It was because I.
Ooh, cool! I get to fly.
See that vein right there? Yeah.
First hit's free.
Yeah, exactly. So it was all about just, I just love to fly. I mean, and all I want to do is fly. And so, okay, I got time off. I would have done it for free. And the fact that someone had a paycheck attached to it was amazing to me, because I'm like, you're an idiot, you're paying me, because I do it for free. But I gladly took the money and I flew, and it was great. And so that evolved. Start off with just the Citation 1s and 2s, and that evolved. The next thing I know, I'm flying the 650, which is the 3s and the 7s, and then there's, I ended up rolling into flying the Citation Mustang, which was separate from the people I was flying the other Citations for. And so, yeah, it was originally just about that. Then as that evolved, and as I started realizing that, hey, I guess I am a jet pilot, then it kind of, my priorities changed a little bit, in the sense that I'm like, well, I'd much rather do this for a living. This is what I love. I'm like, production's been great to me, and I love production, don't get me wrong. And I don't know that I can give it up, even though I talk about it.
Right.
But I can at least maybe tone it down, because I rather, be in the air, and I rather be flying.
I
And
feel that.
It's just not work. I mean, even on a long day, and I've had some long days flying, at the end of the day, I'm like, yeah,
it was flying.
I was flying, right? I mean, it's a lot worse things I could be doing right now.
I understand that, because as many people know, I changed careers completely to fly. And it's like, I make like a lot less money than I did
Makes you happy.
previously, but oh my gosh, it's so much fun.
I think if you're going to work in aviation, listen, we all know a lot of pilots, we all know a lot of career pilots, and there are some who it's a job. But if you love it and it's your passion, it'll never be a job. I met a gentleman who was a 747 pilot who flew over seas back and forth all the time. And you know what he did when he got back to his home in Arizona? He hopped in his Piper Cub and flew. All he wanted to do was fly. And so I think when aviation's your passion, it'll never be a job. And even the long days aren't really that long.
See, that's what I do. I fly. So, I fly jets now full time in the airlines. And then I get home and I'm like, all right, I go to the Warrior. All right, let's go fly. So like I'm flying or I'm flying is typically what's happening.
All right, so with the 3 full-time jobs. How do you guys balance the relationship aspect of everything?
So I typically go with him if
On
he
one of the
goes on. So TV production, I actually go up because it's actually in my home city. So I basically go home when he goes to work, and I spend time there. And then when he flies, I can sometimes have the chance to go with him.
So 2 of his full-time jobs you're involved in.
Yeah, well, and then
Oh, and then YouTube.
Yeah, and then the
So,
YouTube
yeah,
is I'm
okay.
kind of so.
So that's how
I'm
you balance
his
it. You're
manager
part of it.
unofficially. I manage
So it
all.
was your fault why he didn't take the invitation on season 1.
Yeah, you know,
Oh,
it
no.
must have gotten lost in the mail.
Everything's my fault.
Right.
She's only got
It was
one
his
job.
schedule.
You know
It
she's
was
only
his
got one
schedule.
job.
I know.
Don't listen to her. It's everything, but it's just one job.
But it's just, you had one job.
yeah, everything.
Well, they're here now, and that's what counts.
Yes.
Okay. Well, I mean, jets and Barons are cool, but you've never flown the Long Warrior, so I think we need to
Where's our
rectify
invitation?
that.
I think that's probably with the season 1 invite. It's
Yeah,
probably where that.
exactly.
Lost in the mail.
Yeah. So. No, listen. We'd love to. We'd love to go up and go fly, and maybe somebody's got a camera somewhere we can
Maybe.
video
Might
it.
have a camera or two
there
laying
might be
around.
one somewhere.
Might be. We can probably find something.
So, okay, but in all seriousness, why the Baron?
The story is anticlimactic. It's actually not a great story.
Oh, perfect. Well, let's put it on my show.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, season 1 would have been a great story.
Right, exactly.
So I used to own a Mooney, and I had sold the Mooney. I was getting divorced, and I had to sell the airplane, the usual story. And so it was time to buy another airplane. So I had a Mooney. I'm going to buy another Mooney. This is what I want. And this time I'm going to buy a turbo Mooney. So I was looking for a K model Mooney. And a friend of mine who's actually been on the channel had told me about there's a Baron that he knows that's for sale. It's not on the market yet, but I can probably steal it. And I'm like, yeah, okay, yeah, whatever. If I had $1 for every time someone says you can steal something, I wouldn't need steals. And long story short, I go and I look at the airplane, I end up buying the airplane, and I end up with the Baron. So I wasn't looking for a twin, and I wasn't looking for a Baron. It just fell in my lap. And
We were this close to Mooney Pilot,
yeah.
Well, instead of,
Mooney 310.
it hurts.
And that's a wrap. At least you put me in good company, so.
Yeah.
No, absolutely.
Yeah, so yeah, we were this close to being Mooney Pilot. And
Yeah.
and honestly, had I realized, so when I first started posting videos, we were talking off camera about, getting to 500, 600 subscribers on your channel. And when I had hit 500 subscribers on the Baron Pilot channel, I thought I won the lottery. I had zero expectations of the channel ever. Listen, if I had 100 views on a video, I was happy that 100 people I didn't know wanted to watch this tool fly in an airplane. It was great. I'm like, wow, 100 people want to watch this. Fantastic. So when I hit 500 subscribers, I got chills. I literally felt like I won the lottery. If I had any clue that Baron Pilot would become a brand and would become a channel, I never would have called it Baron Pilot because I just limited myself to I literally was just like, I don't know, I'm flying a Baron, I'll just call it Baron Pilot. There you go, let's get it up. But I have now I got a specific name, and so now I'm posting videos in layers. And so now if you don't know the channel and you see Baron Pilot, it doesn't make sense. Or if you're not familiar in aviation, you also think, some people think the cockiness of, the Baron Pilot. And I'm like, no, it's just an airplane. It's not about me. It's about aviation. And that's why it's called Baron Pilot and not Christopher.
Yeah.
Well, what's one thing that, since we're talking about your following, your fans, what's one thing your fans maybe not know about you guys? That you
I
can reveal here?
am way funnier in person than I am on,
I can actually
and way
attest
better
to that.
looking than I am on camera.
I can attest to that.
You had such an opportunity. No,
Well, he got here like 3 hours ago and just now got out of the makeup chair before we started rolling.
I worked hard on this.
This is true. I apologize.
No, I don't get to show my personality in the channel.
It's your channel. You can show what you want.
I know. The thing is I try to keep everything very, listen, we live in a PC world now, right? So just try to keep everything neutral. I don't want anyone to take anything out of context or anything like that. So I don't, and I'm in an environment where I'm concentrating and I'm focusing, so I don't get to You know,
Brian
there's a whole
Turner
lot of
it
that. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, honestly, I completely understand that. There are so many times that Dan is like, Christy, like, so we'll be done filming and then my personality really starts to come out and he's like,
You'll
don't
do
stop
the
rolling.
fake cut trick.
Yeah, exactly. Because then, things kind of roll from there. But I understand. Like, I try to,
Rein it in.
Exactly.
You just gotta.
No filtering. Stop the
Yeah.
filtering.
Oh my God.
It's not fake by any means.
It's not fake. It's
But it's
just
filtering.
No,
It
it's
is filtered.
filtered. It's
Yeah.
filtered. It's like you get Christy Light.
But people want genuine Christy, not Christy Light.
Oh gosh, I don't know if the world's ready for genuine Christy.
Who wanted it?
Yeah, he was chewing on my hand earlier.
All right, but okay. So the answer to my question of what's something your fans don't know is
You're a big goofball.
I'm definitely sarcastic, yes.
Yeah. What about you, Kim?
Oh man. I don't know. What do people not know about me?
filter.
Shock of the question.
Yeah.
That's true. I've had other people on, and yeah, sometimes I've fed them that question beforehand, so they had time to think. So you're right. I threw that at
I'll
you.
get back to you.
All right. On the next season.
Yeah, exactly. When you guys
The
come
second
back.
season.
Second season.
Something to look
Season
forward to
two.
for season 2.
All right, very good. What's next for Baron Pilot?
The channel you're referring to?
Yeah.
I think obviously,
Besides the name change to something.
to Baron,
Baron Leo.
Airplane
Citation,
Pilot.
Leo Mai, is that
Yeah,
the new channel?
exactly. We're just
I'm
gonna
gonna
call
make
it-
a shirt that says that. I don't know what it means, but
Yeah.
it'll be great.
Just link it to this video
There
so
you
that
go.
people understand.
So right now the channel is in a new growth period, and it's not rediscovering itself because it's still the same. It's just growing. So I will always have Baron Pilot videos on there as long as I have the Baron, or a piston airplane if ever I sell the Baron. So now it's becoming a mix of both the Baron and showing jet flights, and hopefully everyone's happy and they have a mixture of the two. The third step to that is as she begins her training, there'll be a whole series on her. And without giving away the ideas that I have for the video, for obvious content purposes,
I was looking for something to copy.
it will be nothing like the videos now.
Okay.
The basic idea is you will get into her thoughts throughout the process. Is all I'll leave it at that.
She's shaking her
Intriguing.
head.
So yeah,
I can only imagine.
yeah,
what's
that's the
gonna
whole
come
idea.
out.
So it'll be more than just a flying video. It'll be you as a viewer get to know the experience of what it feels like and what, from her perspective at least, to go from zero to throughout the training.
That's really cool. That's unique.
It's
I'll
different.
have to give up one of my jobs for that because that's going to be a little
Yeah,
more.
I might be a little
But that's
long-winded.
my plan.
little
Yeah, 'cause
crying,
it's gonna take.
little
Oh, she's going to be.
It's
there.
insanity.
It's okay. It's okay to cry during flight training.
Ask her how she knows.
Yeah, exactly. I don't want to stall the airplane. Yeah.
Neither do I.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys so much for coming out to, season 1.
Hey, I'm honored to be part of season 1.
The inaugural season.
No, we're super happy to have you guys here. It's always a pleasure running into you at the various airports that we run into each other. Thank you guys so much for supporting the channel. We really appreciate it. Please like, subscribe, share. We'll see you next time.
In the hangar.